Super excited to be here at South by Southwest. Reason people use Panasonic cameras is the great sensor. Beautiful, real live skin tones, creamy skin colors. Our factory engineers rate the VariCam at 14.6 dynamic stops. VariCam has a dual ISO setting of 800 and 5000, whereas the EVA1 has a dual ISO of 800 and 2500. And it literally allows you to have two film stocks in the same camera.
Hi, I'm Elle. I'm a DP based in LA and New York. When Panasonic said, hey, do you guys want to bring a team together and shoot a film for our brand new camera that's coming out? I'm like, okay, but can we put it on a drone and take it into the desert, fly the drone at night, but also over a roaring campfire? And luckily, Panasonic said yes. We also used the 2500 ISO on a night campfire scene that was lit entirely by the campfire. And it's amazing what details are preserved in the hair and the skin tones. I was really impressed. It was actually really interesting because originally we had planned to use the Alta. We realized that with a 2.5-pound camera and lenses that were only going to be, a pound each, we really didn't need a drone that was that crazy. So we ended up going with a lighter DJI drone.
Hey, I'm Gareth. I am a DP. I shoot a show on MTV called Siesta Key, which uses 4 VariCam 35s and 1 LT body. The show is shot with minimal lighting setups, but we also do a lot of high-speed photography, and that's where the VariCam 35s came into play. The dual ISO is huge for us because when we switch over to night, it's something where we go into these clubs, and usually our light levels are so low. Even in those scenarios, we shoot high-speed just with practical lightings, and that's where the 5000 base ISO has been very helpful for us. One of the ideas with the show is that we would be a little bit more cinematic with the look, and that's how we ended up choosing this platform. We were going a certain direction, which was underexposed, really pushing it into the noise floor. And so we went out and I shot almost all 10 of the first episodes with that in mind. I got in the color suite and the colorist and I were sitting there and we were working on it for a few days. And then I got a note back. We want it to be glossy and clean, and we want bright skies and blue everywhere, and the water should be blue, and the skies should be blue, and it should be saturated. I was like, I don't think we've actually ever exposed it that way. But the platform and the negative was robust enough that we were actually able to extract all of that information out, and we didn't have to go reshoot anything. We didn't have to do anything like that. It was just incredible.
In the log mode, you're also in V-gamut mode, which means that you have an expanded color gamut, because HDR is not just about the contrast range, it's also about the color space, which gives you a great deal of saturation and able to reach into nuances of color that you can't get to otherwise.
I'm Johnny Derango, LA-based DP. I've also used Panasonic for a long time. It was kind of a fun thing with Radio 80. They had 2 very different environments. And one of the locations was an interior radio station that I lit incredibly moody. It was very stylized. And for that stuff, I shot everything at the base ISO at 2500, and I rolled it down to 1600. And it was just absolutely beautiful. And then the other environment which I shot in was a laundromat. And I did a lot of overhead fluorescent lighting. And that stuff I shot at 800 ISO because it was much brighter.
To me, what's really interesting with smaller cameras that still pack a punch is that they allow you to think of things in a cinematic way that you might not have thought to visualize in a cinematic way. And having a small camera, you can take this hiking with you in Yosemite and just make some gorgeous, gorgeous films with it because you have that quality and that resolution and that dynamic range. But it's so small, you're not going to weigh yourself down carrying it around.